Hello and welcome to New Mama Meg. I'm Meg, it's nice to see you again. And if you watched my postpartum videos a couple weeks ago, I mentioned that we were doing a little bit of a renovation, a little bit of an upgrade in our bedroom, and it's finally done. Look behind me. How gorgeous is this green wall? I am obsessed with it. Dan did such a good job with all the, I think it's called board and batten, whatever it's called. And then we picked the perfect green. I am so happy with it. So anyway, that's why we're filming in here today, because I just felt like you needed to see how gorgeous this wall was. So anyway, ta-da, I love it. Okay, now that I've pointed out the beautiful green wall, if you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm so glad you found me. On this channel, I'm just sharing quick tips and tricks that I'm learning along the way of being a new mom. If I can share one thing that makes your life a little bit easier, then mission accomplished. If you're not new to the channel, welcome back. You know how much it means to me that you keep coming back every week, so thank you, thank you, thank you. If you want to follow more of the day-to-day stuff of Finn and I, you can follow me on Instagram at newmama_Meg. I post daily updates of what we're doing, how we're doing, just things like that, things you post on Instagram. So if you want to follow along, again, it's newmama_Meg, and hopefully we'll see you there. And now that all of that is out of the way, let's get into today's video. So I'm gonna start a new series called something like, would I buy this again? Just gonna do quick product reviews on things that we've spent our money on, things that were maybe gifts to us based off our registry, just so I can share an honest review of if they worked for us, if they didn't work for us, what we liked about them, what we didn't like about them. And I'll always share products that I love because usually it's something that made our lives a little bit easier, and I hope it does the same for you. So in today's edition of Would I Buy This Again? We're gonna talk all things sleep. I'm gonna go through 4 or 5 products that we used in relation to Finn's sleep. So we're gonna talk about things like the Snuggle Me, the Halo Bassinet, the weighted sleep sack, a noise machine, and also some blackout curtains. So let's get into it. So this is the, sorry you can't see me, this is the Snuggle Me Organic. I think it's comparable to a DockATot, but we don't have DockATots in Canada, so the Snuggle Me is our best option. I was very hesitant to buy the Snuggle Me at first because I think it was about $150. And that's a steep price, especially since it's not their main place to sleep. So it's called an infant lounger. So basically it's just somewhere you can put your baby down. You know they're gonna be comfy. It's not meant for them to sleep in. However, I will say that Finn had many a naps in his Snuggle Me. When we first brought him home, we had bassinets up the wazoo. I think if you've seen my other video, you know I mentioned about 4 or 5 different bassinets that we had. So I didn't think I needed this because we had somewhere to put him to sleep if he wasn't upstairs in his room. And I quickly realized that I didn't like putting him in the bassinet all the time because I couldn't see him. And we had a pack and play that had a built-in bassinet on top. So you could kind of see him through the mesh little sides of the basket, but I didn't like that he wasn't like right next to me. I couldn't be comfortable while he was comfortable, and call me selfish, whatever, but I wanted to be able to lounge on the couch and have him lounging next to me. So that's why I did decide to order the Snuggle Me, and I think it was probably 2 weeks or so after we brought him home that I was like, I'm going to spend the money on this. This is the Snuggle Me. Duh. The color we got is called Slate. I kind of imagine it being a little bit more gray, but it's more green, which I love. It's kind of like a sage green color. Really pretty, matches kind of everything, so I was happy with it. So this thing was absolutely amazing when Finn was little. As I've mentioned before, he's a tall kid. He's always been very long, and so I knew I wasn't gonna get a ton of use out of this because he was gonna grow out of it very quickly, but I still feel like it was totally worth the money. We used it until he was probably a couple months old, and we used it all the time. I would bring it everywhere with me. So if we were going to my parents, I would bring it there because I knew he would rest in there and he would be comfortable, and I wouldn't just have to put him directly on the floor or keep him in his car seat if he wanted to rest. So it was so cute. You'd put him in there and he would put his little arms up like this, and he would sleep away. He was so comfy, so cozy. So the way that it's made, this part kind of hangs in the air because of the border. So they're not on the ground and they're a little bit suspended, and yeah, it's just super comfy for them. It's also very soft. It's made of organic material. You can buy covers for them, so you can throw them in the wash, change the color, whatever you want to do. I didn't buy a cover for it again, because it was $150, and I think the covers are quite expensive as well. I'll put the price up here. We sometimes just covered it with a blanket or one of the very soft, thin blankets. We would just put that over top so he wouldn't get hot, and then we would keep it clean. We were lucky he wasn't much of a spit up baby, so we didn't have a lot of throw up or spit that got on it, which was good. So the only downside to this was, as I said, he did grow out of it very quickly, so we couldn't use it for long. It does say that they can stay in this until they're about 9 months old, but once he was moving around and rolling around, we just didn't think it was best for him to be in here. So that's when we started using the bassinet and things that were higher up on the sides. We would put him in there more just because we felt safer and felt more comfortable with that. But overall, I would say 9 out of 10. As I mentioned, the only thing I didn't like was that he grew out of it quickly, but absolutely worth the money. I highly recommend getting one of these. If you're looking for a baby shower gift for someone, this is an amazing gift. It's so comfy. It'll definitely be good for when we have another baby as well, because it still looks brand new. Still looks perfect. So definitely get a Snuggle Me. Now I want to talk about the Halo Bassinet. You can see it off to the side here, and I'll show it to you in a minute. But this is a bedside bassinet for when you bring your new baby home. So I did a bunch of research before I decided which one to go with. I think number one is like the Snoo, but if you know anything about the Snoo, you know it's $2,000, and that just seems outrageous to me. So even with the Halo Bassinet, I can't quite remember how much it was brand new, but I'll put the price up here. So we bought it secondhand off Marketplace for $150. When we brought it home, we disinfected everything. Dan tightened all the screws, made sure all the pieces were there. We bought a new mattress and new cover for it, and then I felt totally fine using it for the new baby. But I decided to go with this one because it was more affordable and the reviews are really great on it. So this one is awesome because you can pull it in and out beside the bed. You can pull the baby as close to you as you want, push it a little bit away so you have a little bit more space, or you can just push it simply so you can get out of the bed. It's also, it has the mesh around it so you can see the baby through there. And another cool thing is it has a collapsible side. So they say that it's really great for women who have C-sections. I didn't have a C-section, but I still found this super, super helpful. That when you're laying in bed, you can simply just like push the little side down, go in, scoop your baby up, feed them, put them back in. And minimal disruption, so you barely have to wake your baby up to take them out of there, which is awesome. It's really cool because the feet just fit under your bed, and then you can adjust the height, so it can work for anyone's bedroom basically. As long as you have enough room on the side of the bed, then you'll be good. It also has some buttons on the front of it, so there's a light, there's a vibration setting, there's a white noise setting as well. We rarely use these just because we had all the other contraptions next to us. Like I always had a bedside light, we had the white noise machine, and so we just never really needed to use them. We used the Bassinet for about 2 months. I honestly thought I'd be able to use it until we moved him to his own room. I don't know why I thought this. I guess I just didn't really think about how big he would get, but we could only use it for about 2 months because it's not super long and Finn is super long. So we had to switch it out, I think around the 2 to 3 month mark. And we ended up just getting an IKEA crib off Marketplace for, I think we paid $40. It was brand new, still had all the tags, it still had all the bits and bobs. So that was a good find. Clearly I love Marketplace these days, but babies use things for such a short amount of time that buying secondhand is basically like buying brand new, but you just pay less, which is even better. So as long as it's safe and it's clean, I'm happy to buy secondhand. So I would give this probably a 7 out of 10-ish for a couple of reasons. One, it could be prettier. It's not the most attractive looking thing. It's not very modern looking, but it serves its purpose, so I don't even care. And 2, I wish it was a little bit bigger so that he could have used it for a little bit longer. But overall, in terms of functionality, usage, and all of that, it is amazing. So I think the answer is obvious to the question, would I buy this again? Yes, I would absolutely buy this again. Next up is the weighted sleep sack. So this is the Nested Bean Zen sack. So it looks like this. We ordered this when he was like 4 months, I wanna say, and it's a size medium, so it's 6 to 15 months. But as I've mentioned a million times, he's very long, so we were using this probably a little bit before that, and he is now grown out of it. He can't wear it anymore because he's too tall. The reason I got this, once we stopped swaddling him and we were putting him in sleep sacks, he was really comfy in them, so I'm like, oh, perfect, I'll just get a warmer sleep sack for winter. And if you've watched my videos before or you follow me on Instagram, you know that Finn is not a great sleeper. We struggled with his sleep since he was born, for 9 months now. And There was a point where I just kind of said, I will buy whatever I need to buy to help this baby sleep. It was a struggle for him, it was a struggle for me, a struggle for all of us. And so although this was a little more expensive than your typical sleep sack, I still thought, okay, let me give this a try, because again, I was desperate. So the point of a weighted sleep sack is right on here, there's like little beans, or I don't know what's in here, beads, something like that. But it rests on their chest, and so it almost feels like there's a hand on their chest, so it's comforting. And when you read the reviews, it's like, my baby started sleeping through the night after 3 days of wearing the weighted sleep sack. Or, you know, my baby started sleeping the next day, my baby loved it, da 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 da. All these different reviews. So of course I was sold. I was like, oh, only 3 more days of having to stay up with him all night? Great, let me try this. So of course I ordered it and it didn't help. Shocker. Newsflash. Don't believe everything you read on the internet. So it did not work. It did not help him sleep through the night. It did not comfort him any more than your typical sleep sack would. It's nice in terms of like the feel of it. It's very soft, very comfy for him. We got the winter one, so it's a little bit thicker than a normal sleep sack. And so it was really nice in terms of putting him in there. He was cozy, he was warm, but in terms of the weighted portion of it that was supposed to help with the sleep, I would say it did not help at all. So would I buy this again? No, probably not. I would just buy a typical normal sleep sack, something a little bit less expensive. Was it cute and cozy? Yes, it was. But I don't know. I wouldn't buy it again. Sorry. Sorry, Nested Bean. I wouldn't buy this one again. The next item is a sound machine. So I'm sure if you're a new mom or if you're about to have a baby, you've been doing all your research and everything says that you need to have a sound machine. And I do agree with this for sure. I'm gonna tell you about the one that we have. So we got this Dream Egg. Looks like this. This was just off Amazon. It was around $30 to $50. But anyway, it's called the Dream Egg White Noise Sound Machine. It has all kinds of buttons on it. It has a light. It has the different types of sounds that you can play, the volume. It has a fan noise. It even has a timer. So it's nice. However, the main thing you want to look for when you get a sound machine is that it stays on all night. And for some reason, I feel like this is kind of hard to find. All the ones that I looked at online, they all had the timers for 30, 60, or 90 minutes. And this is fine for getting your baby to go to sleep, but from what I've read, you want to keep their sleep environment the same throughout their whole entire sleep, because all of a sudden, if they wake up and there's no sound on, there's no white noise, they're gonna notice something's different. They're probably gonna wrestle around. Also, when the sound machine goes off, they're more likely to hear sounds around the house, which will likely wake them up. And that's exactly what you don't want. So I'm not saying it doesn't work, I'm just saying there are better options. So what we ended up using once we moved him into his own room was actually a Google Mini. So I don't know why I had never thought of this, and then my brother and sister-in-law mentioned that that's what they were gonna do with their baby. And I was like, oh, how do you even do that? Like, what do you ask it to do? So we just simply ask Google to play rain sounds and it will play for 12 hours straight. And it's super easy, you can hide it away, the sound is good, you can adjust the volume however you want, and it will play consistently for 12 hours. 12 hours is good because it's likely your baby is sleeping anywhere from 8 to 12-ish hours before you'd have to reset it. So the 12-hour mark is just perfect. We started with white noise and found it just to be a little bit too harsh, so then we switched over to rain sounds, and it's just a lot more relaxing, a lot more calm. You can also get Google Minis for 20 bucks sometimes. Like, they'll go on sale, you can buy them secondhand on Marketplace. So I love a good item that you can use for multiple different reasons or multiple different purposes. You can still get exactly what you need in a white noise machine with a Google Home and then also use it for other things. And you might even already have one laying around the house. So if you can repurpose it and use it in your baby's room or use it in your room however old your baby is, just go with that. Try it out. If you don't like it, I mean, you can try something else. There are a million different sound machines on the market, but we just found that this one made the most sense for us. So would I buy this Dream Egg again? No. I wouldn't. I would save my money and put it towards a Google Mini. Next up are blackout curtains. I'm not a huge fan of drapes or curtains or anything like that. I just like the windows to be open and nice and bright. But when you have a baby, that has to change. You have to create this perfect sleep environment for them so that they will rest, especially in the daytime when it's bright out. I can't sleep in a bright room. A baby is definitely not gonna sleep in a bright room. And so I had to get over my hatred of curtains and put them in his room. So I actually got a pair from Costco and they were $40. So another thing you probably have determined about me by now is I'm very cheap. I like to find a good deal, a good bargain. And because of that, I was on the hunt for a good quality pair of blackout curtains that were going to work, that looked okay, as nice as curtains could look. And so I ended up getting them at Costco. I got 2 massive panels for $40. They're super thick. I don't love the finish of them, but whatever. They had a color that matched his room, so we ended up going with blue. They also had light gray, dark gray, and this tan beige kind of color. And so as much as I don't love the way they look, they definitely serve their purpose. You could go into Finn's room in the middle of the day and it's basically pitch black in there. The only light that's coming in is just the light under the door. So once you move your baby to their own room, you definitely need to invest in a pair of blackout curtains. When you're buying them, just make sure you check the thickness of them, because some of them say blackout or room darkening, and I just find that they're still quite sheer. They sometimes will have like a panel similar to what you have in a hotel room or on hotel room drapes. So it'll be the normal curtain and then this type of panel on the top, but sometimes they're see-through and you can just, they're not blocking out any light. The room is a little bit darker, but it's still bright enough that I still wouldn't be able to sleep in it. So baby is not going to sleep in there. Just make sure you get something heavy duty that's really going to block out the light. And another tip is also to get a curtain rod that kind of has curved edges on it. That way you can pull the curtains around to the edges as well, so then the light won't be coming in the sides of the window, which again, it's not gonna help your baby. It needs to be dark in there. So would I buy these again? Yes, 1,000,000,000,000%. I will buy blackout curtains for all of my baby's rooms all the time. And that is today's episode of Would I Buy This Again? I hope you took something away from this. I promise I will share honest reviews of these products as I get them and as I use them. My opinion will probably be different from someone else's, but I want to share how I feel about them and the use that we got out of them. Might just be a little bit of information that you didn't have before that will maybe help you decide between one product or another. I just don't want you to spend any money that you don't have to spend, and you can learn from my mistakes. So let's review. Halo Bassinet, yes, buy that one. Snuggle Me, 100% buy that one. Weighted sleep sack, save your money on that one. Buy them just a regular sleep sack, that's probably half the price. Dream Egg white noise machine or other white noise machine, save your money, you can get it cheaper with the Google Mini. And blackout curtains, 100,000% buy the blackout curtains. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I post videos every Friday with tips and tricks for new moms, new families, new parents. And I also just share some personal experiences that my little family is going through as we go through it. If you've tried any of these products, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Maybe I'm using it differently than you are and I can try something new that might actually help us. So comment below and I'll be sure to check it out. So thanks so much for watching. I hope we'll see you next week. Have a great week. Bye.